Shalom, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, the bondage to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us his truth. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful like Akim, teaching and preaching his truth with all righteousness and sincerity. So, got this article here from RT News, which is Russia Today. It's always expedient to, be tapped in some of these articles. Well, some of these apps that gives you global updates of different things that's going on in regards to war, the economy, and the financial stability in these different countries. And then at the end of the day, we know Babylon the Great, which is America, is the focal point of the Lord's, judgment. However, there will be different things happening globally in the geopolitics that will let us know what time and season that we're in. Now, here it says Putin warns NATO against global catastrophe. Now, we know that the World War III, or as the scriptures call it, the third woe or Armageddon, isn't going to come until the implantable technology will be pushed out. But the scriptures do speak about rumors of war. All right. And let me go ahead and get that real quick in Matthew, the 24th chapter, because at the end of the day, our focal point is prophecy. All right. We know that the prophecies of the Lord Yahushai is the spirit of is the testimony of Yahushai, is the spirit of prophecy, Salakia. And here in Matthew, the 24th chapter, our Lord Yahushai is prophesying two separate events. He's prophesying the Roman siege of 70 AD, which is started in 66 AD. You had the Flavian dynasty, when you had what's his name? It was a Roman general, Vespasian, and then his son Titus, and then later Titus' brother Domitian. And then as well as the second return of our Lord Yahushua. These two separate events is being heralded here in this chapter in Matthew, the 24th chapter. Verse 6, I started fire to build the vibration. It says, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, or anointed, and deceive many. And one might say, coming into the truth, why is there so many doctrines? Why is there so many different outlooks on the prophecies and the different things that's written in the scripts? Well, it goes back to what Yahushua said. You're going to have people coming in the vibration of Yahushua saying that they're anointed, that they got the understanding of the different things that's written in the scripts, but they shall deceive many. Ultimately, we know who has the correct doctrine by mating what they bring out according to the scripts. When you examine some of these other doctrines that these other people be having, it don't even mate up to what's written in the scripts. Case in point, the MOTB. They saying it's a picture of Caesar Borgia, or it's dealing with white women. All right, and then some other camps and organizations will even push out the vibration that other nations will be a part of the coming salvation. So, when you thoroughly, examine the scripts and you rightly divide the word in truth, those two examples don't mate up with what's written in the script. So you will have, these individuals coming out deceiving many, and they will have a large following, great multitudes following after them. All right. It says in the 6th verse, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. And that's what we see now. And like you see right here in NLT, which is on the right-hand side, it says, and you will hear of wars and threats of wars. So, we got to make sure that we're paying attention to, the war tension. All right. And as the war tension is escalating, Esau, Edom, he has to push out his new financial system that goes hand in hand. As war tension is escalating, you're going to see certain things happening in the financial markets, certain things happening with the banks, certain things happening with inflation and how money is moving within this economy. It's good to pay attention to those things because, there's a buildup to Esau, Edom, which is the so-called white man. And when we speak about the so-called white man, we're talking about the ruling class elites. There's a buildup to them pushing their enterprise, all right, their agenda. So, you want to make sure that you're paying attention. Yeah, we watch the elders and apostles, all right, other brothers that's teaching, but you want to make sure you're looking at geopolitics, the economy, and you tapped into alternative media. So it says, continue on in Matthew 24:6. I'm reading the NLT, which is on the right-hand side. It says, and you will hear of wars and threats of wars, but don't panic. Yes, these things must take place, but the end won't follow immediately. And that's correct because there's other prophecies that we got to look for. Like I said, the MOTB, the implantable technology, all right, which will be ushered in by way of Esau's new financial system, that has to take place. And I'm going to read it again in the KJV. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Now, let's go back to this article and just read a little bit of it. It says, Putin warns NATO against global catastrophe. This is threats of war. Western leaders hopefully have enough intelligence. When it says Western leaders, it's talking about America, to avoid a direct military confrontation with Russia, Vladimir Putin said. Now, you can have enough intelligence to avoid confrontation, but at the end of the day, the counsel of the Lord, that shall stand. Let me get that precept real quick. Because these world leaders, they may try to avoid a war, but the scriptures speak about three woes. All right, which is, World War I, World War II, and World War III, the War of Armageddon. Let me get this. That shall stand. I want to say it's in Proverbs. Yeah, it's Proverbs 19:21. It says, there are many devices in a man's heart. Device goes into counsel, plots, purposes, so on and so forth. Nevertheless, the counsel of Yahweh, that shall stand. And the counsel of the Lord starts off with these prophecies. This is what's going to stand. This is what's going to end up being fulfilled. All right. So let's continue on. It says, putting NATO troops into direct contact with Russian army will be a foolish step that could lead to global catastrophe, which it will be a global catastrophe, because at the end of the day, the Lord is mustering the hosts of the battle, and we'll get that in Isaiah 13. But let's finish this paragraph. It says, Russian President Vladimir Putin warned on Friday following the Central Asia-Russia summit in Estonia, Kazakhstan. So, these world leaders, they get together, in these different meetings and groups to try to, formulate a plan to tackle certain, global threats, to tackle certain economic, situations, to speak about war and, missile and military and arsenal, so on and so forth. All right. And at the end of the day, although they may try to, back off the different war tension that's happening, at the end of the day, the Lord has a plan and purpose on the earth. This is Isaiah 13, verse 1, and it's entitled The Burden of Babylon. Now, the burden, when you go into that word, I'm not going to do it. You brothers can. You'll find the word prophecy there. So these are the prophecies of Babylon. And this isn't talking about ancient Babylon or Neo-Babylon ruled by Nebuchadnezzar. It's talking about this modern day Babylon, the Babylon that you read about in the book of Revelation. It says, which Isaiah, the son of Amos, did see. So he saw the visions of these prophecies concerning this place. It says, lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. This banner is this truth. The high mountain is Babylon the Great. In Babylon, this is the origin of this truth springing forth, And we've spoken about it. Our elders and apostles have spoken about it. Their elders from Abba Bivens on down to our elders. The Lord dealt with those men exclusively to give them the secrets and the mysteries concerning the things that's written in the scripts, knowing who the Israelites are, knowing who Esau is, knowing what Babylon is, so on and so forth. So we're lifting up that banner, that truth upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the noble. So through the teaching and preaching, which is uncovering the secrets of Esau, Edom, these nobles, all right, they know exactly what we're doing, and they know this is a part of prophecy. They know they got to try to stop this. That's why they send out, certain agent provocateurs, infiltrators, and different things to try to get rid of this truth. They hire false prophets, put them on pedestals, finance them to push that message. But the true men isn't going to be hid. Verse 3, I have commanded my sanctified ones. These are the men of the Lord. All right, when you read in John 17, verse 17, it says, sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth. I have also called my mighty ones for my anger. These are the angels, because the Lord controls the affairs in the earth by way of the angels. The angels work on the minds of these different kings and rulers, and even you and I, to do his will in the earth. That's why it's not expedient for you to be prideful and boast in what you got going on, because at the end of the day, like we read, a man's heart devises, all these different things, but the counsel of the Lord shall stand. It says, even them that rejoice in my highness. It says, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of the nations gathered together. Yahweh of hosts mustereth the hosts of the battle. This is talking about World War III. So the Lord, when you go into that word muster it, it's to appoint, to gather, to assemble. And the Lord does that by putting these different thoughts in the kings of the earth. So although they may try to avoid conflict, they may try to reason with each other to try to, put things off. At the end of the day, the scriptures speak about the third woe. So destruction will happen. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even Yahweh, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land, singular. Because Babylon is going to get utterly annihilated. And what's going to be the instrument used to destroy this place is the ICBM missiles, which is an acronym for Intercontinental Ballistic Missile. These nations that hold that technology, they're going to shoot upon Babylon the Great. They're going to destroy it. All right. And Isaiah saw it. Once again, Isaiah 13:1, the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah, the son of Amos, did see. So he saw the destruction of this place. So going back to the article, Western leaders hopefully have enough intelligence to avoid direct military confrontation with Russia. Vladimir Putin says, so although they may try to avoid direct military confrontation, it's going to happen. We read it in the prophecy. The Lord mustereth the host of the battle. The Lord is going to put it in their minds to fulfill these prophecies. And right now, like we read in Matthew the 24th chapter, it's wars and rumors of wars, threats of wars, so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, the MOTB, the implantable technology, has to be pushed out, right? It's synonymous with our Lord Yahweh returning. Revelation 14:9, I close out here. When we read up above, it's speaking about the everlasting gospel being preached, which that's what we preach on the highways and the byways, starting with our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And a part of that gospel, the everlasting gospel, is chanting down the destruction of Babylon and talking about this implantable technology. This is Revelation 14:9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image. Let me read it from the top. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast is this system. You got NATO, which that article was going into. That's the military. You got the EU, that's the financial, and then you got America, which is the whore. This is the uh, basically the cash cow of Esau. America is known as a great import country, and it has the influence that these other nations try to follow after the westernized way of living, so on and so forth, which deceives these nations. And collectively, America, NATO, and the EU makes up this kingdom, all right, of Esau, this scarlet colored beast, all right, this power structure, this system, this kingdom. So if you worship this system, right, you have reverence for it, you have great respect for it, in his image, the image going into the likeness, because this kingdom patterns the ancient Roman Empire. The Senate, the government, the Latin language, the silver coins with the eagles on them, the architecture, all right, the Roman numerals, all right, the way they appointed governors and, the Caesars, which the modern day Caesars is the presidents, all right, the taxation, so on and so forth. We can run parallels all day with America being the image of the ancient Roman Empire. All right, you had this truth, you had Yahushua in the ancient Roman Empire. You had the awakening of, the seven churches of Asia Minor. You had the preaching of the doctrine. You had the persecuting of the Israelites. All that stuff is going to be happening in these times. All right. And the scriptures speak about the deadly wound being healed. Rome went down for the space of 1,000 years, but it came back in power during the Renaissance period. So it says, if any man worship the beast and his image, which if you worship the beast, you're gonna worship the image because it goes hand in hand, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. It's different technology. You got the implantable technology that go in your hand. All right. Which, Sweden is a country that has a large population of people that's implanted. You had a couple of years ago a company in Wisconsin called the 3 Square Market, where they offered their employees the implantable technology to buy and sell certain things. And that's the trend. Everything is trending towards biometrics, putting technology in you and merging man with machine. So that's the next phase of slavery, so to speak. Esau, he wants to be a god. He wants to have a dominion on the earth by knowing every thought and intentions of people, just like the Heavenly Father. And he feels like he can achieve that by putting technology into them, but he's going to deceive people into taking it. That's why you're hearing about famines and different things and the economic collapse and debt and financial crisis and so on and so forth. They're going to eventually come out and say, hey, look, we got to, usher in a new financial system, because the one that we're using right now is just backed by so much debt and inflation. It's hard. It's going to be hard for anyone to have a peaceful living situation, just because of the money system is crazy. People suffering from worker burnout. The 401k is done, pretty much, destroyed with inflation. The house is a housing crisis, so on and so forth. So they're gonna use these different avenues to deceive those individuals into taking that implantable technology. And what you will be doing when you take that technology, you'll be worshiping the system in his image, and receive the mark in his forehead or in his hand. The same shall drink of the wine and the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. So it's very potent. It says, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So the implantable technology is synonymous with Yahushua coming. And Yahushua is going to come through World War III. All right. You can read 2 Esdras 13. You can read Revelation. You can read Revelation 12 verses 7 on down. And various different, prophecies that are in the scripts. All right. Isaiah 66:15. Zephaniah, the 1st chapter. We could be here all day listing various prophecies going into the second coming of Yahushua. So just a couple of things to look out. Like I said, it's always good to look at these different articles and see what's going on. But like we read in Matthew, the 24th chapter and the 6th verse, we're not troubled because the end is not yet. We're looking forward to implantable technology. So I'm going to leave it at that. You, Akim, continue to stay on your watch. And Lord willing, this was edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom.